Welcome back to Forest Firearms, everybody. Looks like something has slithered its way into our little forest here. This is a Colt Cobra, and you're going to see some of the pluses and minuses of this firearm versus its Smith and Wesson counterpart. But I'm basically just going to give you an overview of why I personally prefer small Colt revolvers. So let's take it back here for a little bit. Okay, so as you guys might have seen in our previous video, set some of these over here, I just got myself a Smith and Wesson model 649, and it's a 5-shot all steel concealed carry revolver. But it might be something that you guys don't know, but I actually prefer Colts in my revolver world stuff, because not saying that they're better, but I just like the styling of them, how they feel, and the history involved with them. So it's one of those things that I couldn't wait long before I got myself a small concealed carry Colt also. Now, what makes this different than a lot of revolvers coming up to this point is the Cobra is an aluminum alloy framed revolver, where the Detective Special that was out before it is an all steel revolver. So this gives some pluses and minuses in a carry world, because though it is lighter than a Detective Special, it is a little more snappy in the hand, and maybe not as strong as some of the steel Colt counterparts, or even the Smith and Wesson counterparts. So just to kind of look and see the size difference, because a lot of people have small J-frame Smith and Wessons, but they may not have these D-frame Colts, or the smallest Colts that they made, basically, in a revolver sense. This was Smith and Wesson's. This was Smith and Wesson's basically concealed carry or police or detective answer coming to the 50s, where they decided to lose one round, go to 5 shots, but have a little shorter grip on it, and makes it, in my opinion, more concealable than the Cobra by far. I've carried both of these quite often, and the Smith & Wesson carries better, but the Colt, I find, is maybe a better shooter, because you have just a little more length in the grip and it's a little more fat in the hand, and like I said, you have that one extra shot. Where, like I said, with the Cobra, the grip's just a little longer, and you have 6 shots in the cylinder. I don't think Colt ever made 5-shot revolvers. I could be wrong on that, but from my reading, I think they basically stuck with 6. Where on the small J-frames for the Smith & Wessons, they went to 5 shots. So let's just shoot a couple more times, and we'll just see how it does. Let me just... Well, we're probably about 30 yards away, 25 yards. I'm gonna shoot I'm gonna shoot a couple shots single action, because it has a really nice single action, and then maybe I'll take a couple double. But the doubles are always hard for longer ranges, especially with a 2-inch barrel. Oh, that trigger gets away from me. The trigger's very light, so I gotta really watch myself that I don't pull it too quick. That felt a lot better. Okay, so we've shot 3. I'll try a double action. The double action's long. It stacks a little bit at the end, but I feel like I can stage it a little better than on the Smith, but we'll see. I've never shot it this far, double action. Okay. Oh, I pulled it. Okay, that felt better. Okay, and as you can see, I didn't point this out, but on Smith & Wesson, you push the cylinder in. A lot of people know that. On all Colts, you pull it. So you pull it back, then you're ready to roll. Okay, so they made these from about 1950 to 1981. There's a new version out. It's not really the same pistol. They call it the Cobra. It's all steel. It's set up a little differently, and the quality seems to be pretty good, but a lot more MIM parts and that kind of stuff on it. This is one, I finally figured out the serial number. I believe it was 1962 is what it said on Colt's website, or it's late 50s, but I believe it's 1962. And because the serial number was a little finicky for me to get punched in. But also a thing to show, on a Colt revolver, pretty much all of them, besides the Colt New Army, spins clockwise. I'll do that again. On all Smiths, they spin counterclockwise. And the locking system's different. It's basically, it's kind of interesting to have them both to look at how did they both have the same problem, two different companies solved it a little differently. So definitely interesting. You can kind of see the Smith over top of the Colt. It's just a hair smaller, but that hair smaller makes it just a little more concealable. And if you have it in the waistband and you're a little heavier like I am, that hammer can poke you in the stomach, where this rounded, it's much more comfortable. So I thought of something. I set up 2 targets. I'm going to brace them. I'm going to shoot both of them 5 times. And we will see if at about 10 yards, if there is much of a difference in accuracy. Now, I'm not quite sure if one shoots high or one shoots low, but we're just basically trying to see how do they group, and then the person can move his aim depending on that. So let's just give this a try. I think I will shoot the Colt first. The Colt target's going to be on the left. It's a little, both the targets a little sideways, but that's okay. I'll set the Smith right here. And it's going to be all double action. I mean, sorry, single action. I'm misspeaking. Actually, pull one out since I said I was going to shoot it 5 times. Let's just see what these will do. Oh, hold it. Okay. Not quite sure what happened there. It was a good hit on the primer. We'll hit it again. Okay, it went. That was funny. I punched the primer. That's a little bit worrisome, but we'll keep going. Okay, so it's definitely snappy. I have never punched a primer like that. It's weird how things happen on camera. It felt weird. I looked at the primer and it had a really good strike on it. So I put it back in and it looks like it just punched straight through. So that's definitely something interesting that I've never seen. But let's come look at the Colt. So not bad. A lot of this is me. But, you know, for a little 2-inch barrel, if it was down in a vise, I could probably get them pretty tight, but got a couple close. But it's all about within a finger. Let's see what the Smith and Wesson does. And me punching that primer might have shook me a little bit. But let's see how the Smith shoots. Okay. So, quite a bit more variation. Maybe two there, or maybe 3. I can lift this up and check. Yeah, maybe I sent one going, I'm not sure. But quite a bit more. And I actually felt more comfortable with my shots with the Smith and Wesson, but a lot of this is just me, but it is a smaller barrel. And looks like the accuracy of the Colt's may be a hair better in my hands, but as time goes on, we'll shoot them a little more, and I'll get those group sizes a little closer. But that's just, I've never done that, so I thought, hey, let's try it out. So just kind of to wrap things up, let's throw 6 more in him, and let's do a couple different things here. I'm gonna shoot a double action. Okay, plenty serviceable. And I'm gonna step back a little bit for the last 3 shots. Hit or miss, I'm gonna see how far I can shoot with this little girl. We are probably about, how far you think this is, Thomas?
Between 40 and 50.
Let's just see if I can hit that dang half-size target, half-size torso target with the single action. Nope, over his head. Let's go for another. There it is. Ah, pulled it. Well, one more, guys. I'll throw one more in it. I got to end on a hit, right? Okay, I'll take it. Okay, guys. Well, that's just been a quick look. Not quite a full review, but definitely just a quick look at my little snake. It's light, it's a little snappy, but it's a real fun gun to shoot. And I love it. So I've been Ivan, and we'll catch you next time on Forest Firearms.